Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we're going to talk about DHL's impressions of the Tesla Cybertruck. I'm sorry, of the semi truck. But first, let's roll that title.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express!
Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us today. We're going to talk about a little article that we've, of course, linked in the comments, as we always do, about DHL, parcel delivery company, worldwide, global, out there. And they, of course, had put in an order for the TeslaSemi. When the Semi first came out, they ordered 10 of them. And they, as many others, just kind of waited and waited and waited. But they're luckily their spot in line came up a few months ago, and they actually performed a number of tests with a demonstration unit that was provided to them by Tesla. They were able to put it into their roundhouse of parcel delivery and perform a number of different runs with it. So they did region to region runs. They pushed it to its limit where they were almost going, I believe it was 420 miles on a run. And they did some local stuff too. So they ran the gambit to see how the Semi would operate in their typical scenario of parcel delivery from both, just highway runs from depot to depot, and then end runs when they're going to some customers as well. So what they were shocked at was that their testing of the Semi actually was above the numbers that Tesla had given them. So the efficiency was better. They were burning less electricity in these vehicles than what was promised to them. And the vehicle was operating perfectly. They had a fantastic time with the 2 weeks that they were putting it on runs, and were really pleased about how its performance outshone what Tesla originally had given them for specs. So this is a huge win for Tesla and the Semi, because we are now getting some more glowing reviews from people that have been waiting. Admittedly, it's been a long time for some, and some obviously most are still on the waiting list. But this is now starting to make some waves in the transportation industry, because this vehicle is now hitting its stride. And in these cases for DHL, it's surpassing what was expected for this vehicle to operate at.
Under promise, over deliver, or Mark II?
Yeah, best way to sell to a customer is under promise, over deliver. You can't get a more satisfied customer by delivering those type of stats to somebody on a regular basis. It just it's tough to do, because you're always trying to push out what the vehicle can do, what you're expecting it to do. But in this case, the formula really worked for DHL.
Yeah, they got the efficiency they expected too. Even fully loaded, less than I think it was less than 2 kilowatt hours per mile, and
1.6.
Wow, yeah. 1.72 in this one test. So that's pretty cool.
Some folks had said that was actually more efficient than the Hummer EV. I didn't check the numbers, but if so, that is incredibly impressive, because you don't see that happen on any other pickup truck versus semi truck. Usually it's like the pickup truck might get 15 to 20, and the semi truck will get 5 to 8. And if this is beating the pickup truck, then it's pretty bad on GM's part.
And that just shows you how much engineering work Tesla has put into making this efficient and optimized, and including aerodynamics and weight and everything else they can squeeze out to make that perform even better.
Yeah, with DHL confirming that their efficiency was 1.72 kilowatt hours per mile on average during its 2-week trial. Tesla later had indicated that they were starting to see better, and Tesla is guessing that they're going to get to a 1.6. So
Okay.
that's Tesla, again, skirting that line about under promising, over delivering. They're trying to say, hey, it's just going to get better from here. So that's fantastic. It's great news to see that vehicle is getting those type of numbers on regular over the city and region runs. Perfect.
Did it say where they did the runs? I'm curious if this matches up with any of the mega charger pallet sightings we saw.
It wasn't California, but it didn't go beyond that, except talking about how they were doing different lengths of runs. But definitely it was California area.
You mentioned that DHL is a worldwide transportation company, and I wonder if that's one of the reasons that they're very interested in this, is that there are some regions where they have emissions goals that are mandated by the government, the regional government,
To
the local
London.
government. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And there are zero emission zones, just like there are some places that have congestion zones. I think the
Yep.
zero emission zones are going to become more increasing, especially once you get past 2030, 2035. You might not be able to buy vehicles in some regions that are emit pollution. So definitely this is the right move to start thinking about this now, start getting these tested, get them incorporated into your fleet, figure out where you're going to need mega chargers, which warehouses, which depots, what loading docks, and start getting that infrastructure in place.
Exactly. DHL said that they can confirm that the Semi is capable of 500 miles on a single charge with a full load, being
Awesome.
75,000 pounds. So with the testing that they done for that 2 weeks out of Livermore, California, some of the runs, as mentioned, were close to 400 miles. And what was left in the electron tank when they were done allowed them to say, you know what, this truck is going to do 500 miles. There's not a doubt in our minds.
75,000, that leaves us how much for the trailer and how much for the tractor? Is that like within 2,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds of regular?
It's indicated that that's a fully loaded gross combined weight of 75,000 pounds. Yeah.
I was curious if they let it slip on accident. So do we think that we'll see this in Norway even before it finishes in the US, since they've got a mandate? Or does it not include heavy commercial
Well,
trucks?
actually, just an update from what we found out today in the news is that Elon has confirmed that the Semi will not only appear in Europe, but it will appear worldwide. So he has now pushed the idea that the Semi will be produced in a couple of different spots, and that wherever it is capable of running, they're going to sell it.
I wonder if it's Model X style, like where they just have one build and they're all this way because it was low volume enough that they couldn't get the different tail lights and the different bioweapon filter. We needed the bioweapon filter for China, and we needed the amber turn lights for everywhere else except for the US and Canada and Mexico. And so we all just got the combined vehicle with as minimal changes per region as possible. So that would be kind of cool if the Semi is a similar sort of world vehicle. Because the Model 3, you could make more changes because you had volume to work with. Same with the S.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that also goes with the center seating position, right? Now you don't have to move it for different regions.
Or do the grabber thing like they did in the grabber.
Yes, that was crazy.
They were making them, and then they said, not this time. Here's a grabber.
And here's another little fact that considering that 1.7 kilowatt hours of electricity can, in some cases, cost as low as 15 cents, there's certainly an opportunity to reduce the cost of operation of these trucks compared to diesel.
With a mega pack outside, and the mega pack is only for your fleet, and you have another one for the factory.
Well, yeah. Certainly, based on the number of semis that you have over time, and how many miles those vehicles run, it's going to start to become cost effective to maybe set up a solar array at a distribution site, set up a mega pack, because they know that, hey, we're just increasing the fleet of semis that are running electricity. We may as well get our electricity cost down to 10 cents from 15. Let's slash it by 50% by doing these type of things. And definitely the bean counters at all these fleets are going to be looking at these numbers and saying, you know what, it makes sense for us to go all solar, or buy the additional building beside us and put solar on its roof to double up production of solar. All that kind of stuff is definitely coming down the line.
You add auto bidder, you'll already know when your trucks are going to be out and when they're going to be in. And on a holiday where your trucks aren't running because you gave your guys the day off, then you use the whole day for energy arbitrage rather than filling your trucks.
Absolutely.
Synergy.
Yeah, or you could even be using the batteries in the trucks for that energy arbitrage if you have a vehicle to load, vehicle to grid. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that people that are running these fleets, they're a lot easier to convince based on the raw numbers. They just look at the numbers and go, listen, I know how much our trucks cost right now. I know how much they are per mile. I know how much maintenance I have to spend per month to keep these vehicles. If you can show me a vehicle that is capable of doing the same things, but yet there's a fraction of cost in these different columns, then I'll buy whatever you got, because it just makes sense.
It's an even easier sell than that, because not only do you just say, you proclaim you can do that, but if you put a guarantee that if we're wrong, we'll pay the difference plus your lost whatever, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's a done deal. Let's go.
Well, I can guarantee there's a number of fleets that are now looking at this actual article that we've quoted here, and they're going, hey, have we seen this yet?
For a week on
is someone looking at this? Because I just heard that Pepsi and now DHL and FedEx and Walmart, they're all
McDonald's company
saying that they're continuing to order this truck, and it's exceeding their expectations. Is someone on this? Like, I can definitely see fleet managers, if they're not aware, they're getting aware real quick.
Right.
Yeah, that whole, you can't use it over the road, or it only works in these places. So freaking what? If you can take 3 of your routes and cut them down to an eighth of the cost, that's money.
Exactly.
Yeah, those businesses are not doing it because they like rainbows and unicorns. They're doing it because it saves them money.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd be interested to see what our listeners, our viewers think of this. Have you had any interaction with a company that has seen that electric is where the future's at? Have you talked to anybody that's running an electric vehicle in a business, and what was their deciding factor to move forward? Put it in the comments. Let us know. We'd like to hear about your particular interactions with anybody that's using electric for business. And with that, I think we will wrap it. Casey, any shout outs today?
Catch us on Sunday at Let's Chat with Casey and Friends over at youtube.com/Casey Green. Come back on Monday for the TTL Express Part 2. And then on Wednesday, we'll catch you for the live show.
Perfect. Patrick, what association are you with?
I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and you can find me at carswithcords.net, where I blog about my future free from fossil fuels, this is just one great example. Moving diesels to D-cells. Okay, 4680s, but
so close. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up, press that subscribe button, help us out. Thanks so much.
Bye now.